everyone, thank you for joining me. So today's technique video, I wanted to take a look at some of these um, watercolor powders. I have in my stash. I've gotten it originally from Scrapbooking with Me boutique back when they were selling on the Facebook page and had the website. Um, it was the Ken Oliver Color Burst. And then I've recently got these Lindy's magical shakers. And they're very similar in quality, so I just wanted to kind of do like a side by side comparison. So when it comes to the Color Burst, it's very important that you just tap the bottle. That'll bring out some of the powder. You can see some of it there on the watercolor paper. But the magic is when you start to add your water, that's when the color really starts to move and it gets intensified. So that right there is the Color Burst from Ken Oliver. And then I'm just going to spray a little bit more because I want it to kind of spread out. And then I'm going to grab the Lindy's and tap it as well. Close it back up and then spray. And what I like about these color bursts is sometimes you can get, depending on the color, you get hints of other colors in the mix. Like sometimes you'll see blues or greens, and it just adds, to the basically to the watercolor look that you're getting with these particular powders. Now I'm going to try and dab this up just so that way it can go a little bit quicker because I use a lot of water to get it to move around, and I didn't want uh, too much cross contamination because I wanted to keep going with the colors. I wanted to make sure I was trying yellow next to yellow, blue next to blue, and etc. So here, what I will say in my comparison is I found that the Color Burst yellow and the Lindy's yellow were actually very similar. And the Lindy's, the only thing I would say is it might be a little bit more of an intense yellow. It's hard to explain. It's better in, I guess, more in person, but I think they have similar qualities. I really do. I didn't see anything that was like crazy different. I do want to say on the Ken Oliver one, I think on the yellow it had like looked like little particles of orange, or maybe it was just how the spray hit it. Now the blues are drastically different because the Lindy's blue, you'll see it's a lot darker and it has a lot of shimmer. Some of theirs are matte or flat, and then some have like intense shimmer and shine in it. And I do wind up mixing them by accident, but it kind of connected right there. But I would definitely say the the Lindy's one, it gives you a really pretty shine, but it's definitely an intense dark blue color. Whereas this particular blue on the Ken Oliver side was definitely, it's a vibrant, but it's on the lighter side, like almost going towards like an ocean blue. And then the other one, it's like almost going towards navy because it's so dark. It's definitely a deep blue. So then I just took some cleaning spray, and I wanted to spray it in my cubby here to get a lot of that color up. That's why it's important when you're using these type of powders and sprays that you use a container because it can get everywhere. And I learned that the hard way when I first was playing with the Ken Oliver's when I first got them. So that's why I wanted to kind of revisit, because these are something that you get in your stash. They look really cool. You see other people use it and then you may feel intimidated by it. I say get some swatch watercolor paper and play. You can tap some of the powder onto the clear plastic sheeting and then use the plastic sheet technique to like smush the color onto your project. You can see there I'm pointing out the different orange flecks that was in that one. Like I said, these were both flat. There wasn't any shimmer in the yellow. But on the pink, there was a little bit of glitter shimmer on the Lindy side, and then the Ken Oliver side. I just liked how it had a little bit of speckles too. And then, so with these, what I was saying before about the powders, um, you don't want to squeeze, you want to tap, okay? Because the powder will go everywhere if you squeeze, because it like kind of shoots out, and that's where I made my mistake. So learn from me. Tap, tap, tap. The powder will come out. You don't have to do anything drastic, okay? If you have these kind of powders where they're in a jar, it works very similar to using the Ken Oliver or the shakers. You just tap the powder onto your project, and then you're going to hit it with the water bottle. And I'm just trying to block it so it doesn't get completely everywhere. Um, but this one too has a lot of shimmer in it, and if you get it too watery, you just grab your powder container, grab a little bit more, and tap it into the liquid. And then you can take a brush and just move it around, get it more intensity if that's what you want. And then I'll use the heat tool to kind of help dry it quickly for the sake of the video. But it does give a nice, like a goldish shimmer once it is done. You can use the heat tool to move the water around. You'll see here it kind of like starts to move and spider out. Um, but I do. The powders are interesting to me, and they're definitely interesting to use when you do like your stenciling with like embossing paste and stuff like that, because the powders kind of bring whatever that image is to life. Because if you're using like the white embossing paste or what else do they call it? Oh, my brain just went boop boop. Um, Modeling paste, stuff like that. The colors from these different like powders and stuff, when you wet it, will bring the pattern of the stencil to life, because white on white usually you don't see it. So that's very fun, and a lot of mixed media people do that, especially on projects. So here are close-ups of the different powders, and I had them on each side for what they were used for. And if you guys have any questions, or if you'd like to see them in a project, you can definitely leave a comment down below. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And I will make sure that, of course, all the links for scrapbooking with me will be down below to the website, where if you use my coupon code, which is TT15, you can get an additional 15% off on items that are not already discounted. So definitely take a look at that, and I hope you guys have a great day.